everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beneath the Lift Tower. My name's Charles McGillivray, and as always, I'm joined by Jess Kebble and Simon Stacey. We're a fans podcast by fans for fans of Northampton Saints. It was Derby weekend. How are you both feeling?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never good losing to them. Even if we did go by the ethics of the cup and play a young side, not some pensioners, but hey ho, you got to win it.
I don't think, glass houses and stones and all that sort of thing. I don't think we're in a position to call people out from the cup, because we have for sure.
I know.
Yeah.
Just because
we had some experience in there.
I mean, I will point out, I have no idea why Dan Cole was playing. Surely he should be.
Ben Youngs. I don't know if
the funny thing is I was going to say I looked at the team list and it was all the wrong way around, and so I assumed it was a different Cole. And then someone mentioned Dan Cole, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I posted it on Facebook. They literally, the BBC had all the backs playing forwards and the forwards as backs. Adam Radwan was starting at hooker for his debut for them. I was like, "Oh, this is that."
It wasn't his debut. He played the week before and scored on debut, but yeah.
Yeah, he scored on debut.
I think it was his first home game.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Home game, yeah. But that's what I meant. Like in the
home debut, yeah.
Dan Cole was at fly half, and Charlie Clare was at scrum half.
Right, yeah. Well, in rugby league, the hooker's the 9, isn't it? So
yeah, good point.
That's just typical. The BBC has had a few mares over the years, hasn't it, in terms of underlying knowledge of rugby? But yeah,
it's just so frustrating, because if they'd actually played for the first 30 minutes, we could have actually won that game, because it was just mental. It was end to end. They said on the radio, it was like a Harlem Globetrotters match. It was literally tit for tat, try for try.
Yeah, it was. It was tit for tat for most of the game, other than the first 21. We were always chasing. So we'd get back into it, and then they'd score. Then we'd get back into it, then they'd score.
You know why that was, don't you? You know why that was? They were waiting for the bollocking from Dowson, and they thought, if we score a couple of tries before we go in, he won't be as bad on us, is it?
Well, it was well and truly game on. It was a great game of rugby.
Yeah, it was.
First half and to some extent the second half, before it sort of went bang bang and we were sort of out of it. I mean, the first 15, 20 minutes, I mean, we were so poor. Like, lethargic. We weren't working around the corner. The forwards weren't getting off the floor. Physically, we were well and truly beat at both set piece and at more time around the, and it was a consistent issue throughout the match. We gave away way too many penalties within distance for them to kick it to the corner. And it's almost every time we went to the corner, they came away with a try. And first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they scored, they just drove, just to dismantle us there. Afterwards, our defence was actually pretty good in terms of defending the maul, but they still managed to score because they'd set up a ruck, and it was just pressure, and they were a bigger, more physical side than us, and it was very difficult for us to stop them.
I think they said, weren't they a stone and a half heavier each forward? Each forward over the pack, they did an average. Each forward was a stone and a half heavier if you did it over each 8 players.
That's like 12 stone, is it? 12 stone extra?
That's a lot of difference in the pack, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we know that we have lots of people not available anyway, but we've also talked before that we tend to go for kind of the all around kind of play and skill level of forwards, not just the big beef, so. But yeah, it's unfortunate that you've got someone then that's like on average 12 stone heavier than you in total, and you just I don't know how that's completable really at that point.
The thing that was annoying, though, is from what I heard, is that the backs, which were quite young, they stood up. It was the forwards, which were quite experienced, that struggled. The scrum was just demolished. I know you got Dan Cole on there, or Daddy Dan Cole, who must be nearly 50 now, but...
he definitely...
He needs the experience, guys. He needs the experience, obviously.
He's just an absolute...
developing player.
You can be playing for them all his career, but you can't take it away. He's probably one of the greatest ever tight heads there's been for England, isn't there?
Yeah, well, that's debatable, but yeah, you've got to admire what he's doing at this time in his career.
His age.
Yeah,
at Leicester for sure, he's one of their best. I mean, it'd be interesting to know, or interesting to think if, obviously, there's this strong link with Tariq Afar disappearing up the road to them lot. right? Whether you go, right, Dan, go out there and get your measure for this player. Let have some feedback. Do we want to sign him? You know?
They actually did say that on the radio. They said if this is his interview for the position next year, because it's rumoured, and Lenny was like, "What do you mean it's rumoured? If he's going, he said that is not a very good interview because the first 30 minutes he was absolutely mullered."
Yeah, he's played so well lately, but that wasn't a great performance from him. I don't mean to name names,
but
yeah, but just specifically, like, yeah, this whole pack wasn't.
No, they were all
was struggling. If there's 12 stone difference though, then I'm not surprised.
That's what they said. I'm not. That was Graham McKechnie. That's not my quote, but it's literally if that's going to be his interview. Bless him. It's not the best. He might have been a bit shy because he's been absolutely on fire the last 3 or 4 games. So
I think one big moment in the game, which is really, really, really annoyed me, was Augustus obviously went off, failed HIA. Right, and that was a bolt upright head-on-head contact.
Yeah,
not too far away from the referee. I cannot understand how that's not a red card. I'm confident if that was on TV.
Oh God, yeah,
red card.
It would be.
There's no TMO, was there? They didn't even review anything because there
didn't appear to be any TMO throughout the whole game. But he didn't even seem to. The referee didn't even know what was going on. He was playing on while there's about 4 medics around Augustus. You know, it just lets the game down when stuff like that happens because they're.
Yeah, I also feel like I appreciate that they're not televised and so, but you still need to have TMOs because at the end of the day, the game is going through a period of intense scrutiny and criticism around the way that it treats certain injuries. It doesn't exactly send a great message of we don't really care enough to have a TMO reviewing footage when you've usually got teams that have youngsters in, people that you should be working to protect. I mean, you should be protecting any players, but it feels like an even bigger thing when you've got young players who are going to want to have good careers, but also be healthy post-career, you know, with where we are with kind of medicine and science and our understanding of it. It just doesn't send a very great message of, well, we can't actually review anything because we've not sent anybody that has the capability to do it. It's a difficult one.
I'm guessing though also you can't consistently have it across the league or across the comp because there'll be certain grounds within this competition where it's not possible to have a TMO. Also, because you've got a whole load more games. You know, Premiership is 5 games a week. The Cup was probably double that, isn't it? So it's probably they haven't got the resources to do it across every game as well. So then suddenly you've got different games with different applications of the laws and different resources.
Yeah.
I would say, though, surely you have doctors that are sick. Because where I sit, the doctor sits on the halfway line watching, and he's watching players, and if he can see head contact, could you not have a doctor there that intervenes and say, look, that was head-on-head contact. I don't care if you're not going to red card him. You know what I mean? Just have somebody that, like they have sighted officials.
Yeah, but
you've got to be consistent.
You can't really do that because the doctor's sitting on the sideline and goes, that's head on head. Might not have been looking. Might have been having a biscuit or a bovril or something like that. He can't see any more than the referee can see live.
But I was saying, not necessarily a doctor, but surely, like Jess said, if you want the game to progress, you need to be consistent. Yeah, and if you're not got a camera it's shocking.
It's the problem that we've had with this style of tournament over the years, isn't it? It's like there seems to be a lack of interest in it. So not many are on television. So then this is what you end up with. And then, like you said, no resources to kind of pump into it. And then you're kind of left with the situation of this is why people don't. I mean, I've always enjoyed it, but generally speaking, there seems to be more of an apathy towards it than anything else. You know, people will go to the home games, but it's difficult to kind of engage in particularly with things like that, where you're just going to get frustrated watching it because they can't.
Realistic. This is just in going on to keep things ticking over whilst the Six Nations.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's where they belittled this cup because at least they brought the championship sides in now, which makes it more interesting. But Charles probably remember. I don't think you will, Jess. But back 20 years, this was like the FA Cup in football. You would literally draw like God knows, an Oral away, and then have Northampton Saints turning up. The whole ground would be full, and then you'd go to Twickenham and play in the final, and then you'd have a trophy. It's totally belittled it because And it's nothing now. I think it's still the highest prize money though, isn't it?
I don't know about the prize money, but I think it's a different thing. It's
But
now
it's the
definitely
same cup though.
it's a development cup, isn't it? Now
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. They've belittled something that was so prestigious to little clubs back in the day. You got a mighty big Premiership side turning up at your little ground. You could draw like football do, like the Cobblers get like Man United or something. It's the same thing, but they've just totally.
But there is an element of you can't like at least within the chap. It's probably done in the right way, like because the Championship clubs are now getting, 3 extra home games, including I think in almost every case 2 home games with a Premiership club coming. Yeah, you're not getting all the superstars, but you are getting a Premiership club turn up. Whereas if you went back to the old school where it was like down to Nat 2 or something, that's literally amateur rugby almost. So or semi-pro rugby, amateur rugby. You can't have Leicester Tigers rocking up to Hinkley, whatever, because it's not safe. It really isn't. Like it's a big enough gap as it is. Like
they did back in the day.
They did, but they weren't professional, so they weren't.
Oh no, they weren't professionals. They were still professionals. I remember going to Oral. And God knows what league Oral were in, and this wasn't when they were in the Premiership. This was when they'd gone right down, and we went to extra time. And literally, they took us to extra time. We had a full strength side out because they just literally stepped up. Then they were knackered, and we beat them in extra time. It was like something like 40 something, 35 or something.
Yeah, I just think those days are gone. I think. The professionalism, it might have been professional, but the level of professionalism compared when even 10 years after professionalism now.
You mean they weren't built like brick shithouses? Sorry, brick.
Apologies for the language, people. Yeah, but you're right. They weren't in the same extent they are now. I think the leagues. I think the competition is good. I think it's a good competition.
I've always liked it, but the difficulty you get, like you said, is if you aren't the one that's on television. And you can't go away to all of them. So I got lucky that first group of games we had 2 home ones, and I went away to the Coventry one. But that's not possible for the 2 away ones that we've got now because it clashes with other things, and they're not on telly. And then so it just like feels like the whole second half of like this pool stage. I'm just a little bit sort of like, okay. It's a difficult thing.
No offense to the Welsh sides, but when they brought the Welsh sides in. That's when it started to go downhill.
Because they're trying to find a place for this. And I think they've found the TV coverage is bad. Like there's no reason why they shouldn't be streaming these games or whatever. Maybe one's on BT and the rest are streamed or something. I don't know. But
and I don't see why they can't do it like they did it before. So obviously now that TNT and Discovery Plus are a marriage. I don't even know how I would describe them now. And so you get all of the Prem games obviously available, even if they're not on telly. But there's got to be something that there's got to be some agreement that can be had where it, like it used to be, where you paid like $4.99 to watch a game. Because I'd happily do that because it's only a couple, really, isn't it? In the PRC, it's not too many. The rest of your Prem games are all. There's got to be some kind of agreement in place because people are it's annoying people not being able to see anything. I appreciate they can only have one on television because Six Nations are on. That's where people's attention really is. It's not going to be on the PRC games. I totally understand that, but I would have happily paid, a £5 to be able to actually watch that over the weekend. Just sort of see
stream, doesn't it? It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Well, no,
it doesn't have. Yeah, I mean, Saints have taken that sometimes when we've got games and there's no rights involved, and Saints will just stream it on YouTube and it's fine. Like, so that you can at least get. It doesn't have to be like top quality TV HD level. Just something where I can see who is doing what.
Get
an idea of.
To be fair though, I'm not defending them, but the group stage is. I know we can't all make every game, but they are local, aren't they? To be fair. Like this, them up the road, which I won't mention, Coventry and Nottingham. They're all like less than an hour's drive, but obviously people clash and you can't do it. But
Nottingham isn't that close, right? Nottingham is.
Yeah, not close. Coventry definitely.
Like an hour.
If Coventry is
hour and a half, I think, hour and a half to Nottingham, really.
Depends what crowd.
Yeah, around that.
I mean, that's the only one I'm not going to is the Nottingham away on. Happens to be on Valentine's Day. But that's the only one I'm not going to.
It's on Friday.
It's a Friday night away
in
Nottingham. I can't make that one.
You're not going to get anybody
there.
No,
so I mean, I could make it if I wasn't if I wasn't working that day, or my timetable was different for my teaching. But no, I finished teaching at 3, so by the time I'm home and off, like the game's probably finished.
I cannot imagine the wife allowing me to go to a rugby match on Valentine's,
on Valentine's Day.
That's sort of because it's not like it's on TV, so there's no need for it to be on a Friday night. That one is the only one I'm not going to, and that one isn't, and it's annoying that they've done that, but it is what it is, you know.
I chose my Crown Jewels to be. Yeah, there's no chance would I be doing that. But I'm guessing it's because the Six Nations is on the Saturday.
Maybe, but then you'd think
very possibly
get them at the ground, get the ground open, keep the pubs
maybe
open.
Maybe it's something to. There must be a particular reason. There'll be a reason somewhere, I would imagine. Whatever it is.
Notts County might be playing. Do they still play at Notts County's ground?
No, they play at. I looked at it because I did look at the ramifications.
When we played them in Division 1, they played at Notts County's ground.
Right, and then they definitely don't anymore, I don't think. But, anyway, getting back to the game. I mean, the point being is, we got pretty much out-muscled to some extent, especially the first 20 minutes. But after that, we played really well. We went with a real intention to play. Played with really good tempo. And, you know, young Billy Pascoe, I mean, what a name that is, by the way.
Right.
But he struggled a bit physically, I think. But he looked great with ball in hand, got a bit of pace to him, got something a bit about him. Glister looked rapid for his try. Seabrook, I mean, last few weeks, he's been tremendous and he was outstanding. For one of the tries, he just absolutely bulldozed Vula 1-on-1, and he just went, he didn't go around him, he just went through him. Seabrook, I thought, was excellent, and Makepeace Cubitt.
He's put on a bit of muscle as well when he was injured. I think Seabrook, his legs look a lot bigger.
It was like the point I was going to make about, you said that some of the young guys got kind of a bit sort of out muscled, but like you said, they're still, their bodies are developing. Some of them still genuinely, they reckon that you kind of hit that. I think I was listening to someone talk during one of the Six Nations games actually saying that like you kind of hit your physical peak at like 24, 25, 26. Some of them, and even like more experienced Saints players have put some muscle on over the past sort of couple of seasons. So, that would be the lesson of identifying what aspect. And for some of them, it may simply just be, bulking up slightly.
Yeah,
maybe a lot.
The forward pack wasn't a young forward pack. The forward pack.
No, not the forward. No.
Should have Hunter Hill went off after about 6 minutes, unfortunately.
I saw that was an injury.
I'm not.
Just so unfortunate for him.
He's so unlucky. Really. But from the sounds of it, Lockett come on and he did bloody brilliant.
Yeah, Lockett was good. I think the forward pack was generally pretty good around the park. It was at set piece.
Yeah,
a line up didn't do so well, and the scrum got pretty much dismantled for large parts of it. It came better at the end. I think once they started rotating players, we sort of came back more into it. But the start was poor. And another comment on Makepeace Cubitt, he was excellent.
They did say on the radio that he said whoever was scouting this boy, they've clearly spotted something because he looks something special. I love his little dip of the shoulder, his dummies, his steps. He's just sending people for hot dogs every match, isn't he? He's like, wait, straight through.
It was one of my key hopes of this competition for him specifically, because I think I said this last week. I've said it repeatedly. We need a 10, an out-and-out 10 as a backup. Like, I still think that that's what a team needs. And so I'm hoping that the kind of competition, because like I said, Finn Smith most likely is going to be consistently away with England, or sometimes an injury might happen. Sometimes you simply just want to rotate because the amount of minutes that Smith played last season was ridiculous. So sometimes it may just simply be, he had to play that much because we didn't have an experienced enough person to kind of properly rotate. So I think it would be really beneficial for him in this competition to really solidify that, Finn Smith is Finn Smith, and that's still going to be your number one. But to have a really good, consistent, excellently performing kind of number two when you actually need it is good.
Yeah, I fully agree. But my only concern, like I say, he's been brilliant in this competition, and he's a proper talent. My genuine concern is if he carries on at the trajectory he's on. I mean, he's there. He's going to want to compete with Finn, And if he's not getting game time because Finn's cemented in that spot, which Finn's he's phenomenal. It might be you develop a superstar, but he's a superstar of a club because
possibly.
You look around the Premiership and we are blessed for talent at 10 with those two. So,
or you rotate Finn and give Finn a rest because he literally played every game last season.
Yeah. You do, but it's true. Like, does GMC want to be the replacement when they need Finn to take a break, or does he want to be the pushing for the first choice? So I totally agree. I think we're kind of all right at the minute that he's probably still a season, the rest of the season and probably next season away from that. So he'll probably have some, some discussions, some decisions I'll have to make, later on. But that's also a reason, though, you mentioned some of those players, why you can't really make too many comments about Leicester, because you think of some of the people, like we haven't even talked about Tom James, who sounds like he also had a good game. There's some really good experience in there. We did also take a team that had a decent chunk of Prem starters in there.
The first 20 minutes were just, not good enough, and it's the same. That's not the first time that's happened. This season we've had a number of occasions where we've just not been there for the first 20 minutes, and I'm sure that is absolutely eating at Dawson and the coaches as to why that is the case.
Why?
Because it's not a talent thing; it's a mental thing. Why are we starting slow in fixtures when, quite frankly, player for player, they had some big names and some really good players in that squad, Leicester, but we matched them. Augusta, I know he went off, but Augusta started. Scott Young started. Far's been on fire. James Seabrook. These are Ram. These players are all. Players,
Then you've also got your Billy Pascoes, your Glisters that haven't played. So is it a case of they were a little bit rusty and they weren't up to speed? I know they've had a week's training, but like to get into the game and the system, I know they all train together, but it's different playing on a pitch with a massive physical side with God knows how many England caps playing against you.
Yeah, but again, back to the forwards. If a lot of that forward pack played Stade Francais match. So they played plenty of rugby together. James is coming back, but he played pretty well. And you're back to, Savala's played plenty, Seabrook's played plenty, Ram's played plenty. You're 13 and you're 14 aren't dictating the whole performance of the pitch game,
What was up with Mitch? Did he get injured?
He was on the unavailable list, which is a shame because I really wanted to see him and Savala. Yeah, keep going in this tournament.
Give Pascal a Ronaldo, didn't it, to see what he had, and he played well from what it sounded like.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd say as well is, right, why the hell is the under 26 nations on during this period?
Yeah,
surely those lads should be in these sides.
Yeah, good point. That's what it's for, isn't it? Development, yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason for it having to be the same time as the regular Six Nations. But we've got Eduardo Toldado, who got man of the match and scored a try for Italy. Ruben Logan
beat Scotland.
Yeah, Ruben Logan playing. Obviously Pollock, McParland, and the two other Scholar and Ainsworth Peave. Can never remember his name, but like those lads, this would be opportunities for them to be challenging for Saints jerseys.
Yeah,
they're moving. Why have it overlap? It makes no sense.
I agree, but then if you say that, then if you have it later on in the year, you're going to lose people like Pollock, which he's a starter for us, isn't he? No, and then we'd refuse.
Yeah, I feel like
misses out.
Yeah, it feels like you'd rather have it now.
You'd rather lose Pollock, but then they often, if there's conflicts, the Premiership normally takes precedent.
That's what I meant. So that's what I'm saying. So he'd lose his opportunity to play in his last under-20s tournament, I would guess, because we need him. So I suppose that's why they do it.
Yeah,
it's annoying. So. They're totally right. You are right. It's the best of the best for all the countries.
I feel like if the injury list wasn't so long, it wouldn't be as bad. The problem is that how many people we have out not on international duty, but simply because, and now obviously if Augustus failed a HIA, that's pretty much guaranteed he's not playing next week. No clue what Hunter Hill's injury was, but them just adding on to a long list.
He did his ankle. He twisted his ankle, and it was bad.
Right.
Right, yeah. I mean, and that's just the annoying thing. You know, we are really light in that second row. Ed Prowse seems to be stepping up. Lockett is a really good player.
Yeah, Lockett.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
love Ed Prowse. You really did.
Ed Prowse is good. I mean, I was a bit surprised that we got Tom at scrum time with Big Ed in there, but you know, we're now down to that because if Munger's still out, you know, I know Timo might be around, but that's it. You know, George Smith's left, today he left to take opportunities in France. We're pretty short in that second row position.
Yeah, but then I suppose you're also of the thing of like, if it's going to happen, at least it's happening when there's not Premiership games on. Again, not to kind of belittle the PRC, but obviously teams' emphasis is on Prem and Europe. It's not on this in terms of some teams will. Obviously, the further you get in, the more emphasis you put on it. But yeah, you kind of, it's really crappy that it's all happened all at once. All these people going on international plus all the injuries, but it also, you know, that you aren't missing them for Prem games. At least we did for one, but not for loads, not for a consistent amount of time. So, you know, it gives people a chance to get themselves back.
Wasn't the list, I was saying, we had 24 players missing, including internationals as well, which is insane.
Probably.
And the thing is, if we're short this weekend, to slowly move us onto that, it's winner takes all, isn't it? Because we're on joint points with Coventry.
Yeah, it's certainly a thing of, if we beat Coventry, we're probably the pool winners, most likely.
Yeah.
Because you'd still fancy yourself. I mean, Nottingham don't seem to be. I don't know what team we're going to put out, but they don't seem to be very.
No, they haven't won a game.
I don't think they realistically can compete. So yeah, it certainly is like whoever wins that game this Saturday is the pool winner, definitely. So
because Cov have to go to Tigers as well. So you know, I think it's the Tigers at Welford Road as well. I think it might be wrong, but they've still got to play Tigers. So you'd imagine if we can beat Coventry, we'd fancy ourselves to go to Nottingham to get whatever we need to finish.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like we're more likely to get 2 out of 2 than Coventry are.
Yeah, exactly.
So and that's nothing against Coventry. I mean, they put an insane performance in over the weekend, obviously over Nottingham. Like, that result was ridiculous. But I'd still probably pip us to be winning those 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's right to look at the game that's coming up this weekend. I mean, if we look at the game away at Coventry, I mean, you can only look at that so much because the conditions were so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was one of those of like, it was close for a while, but it also felt like once both teams had settled in, we were the clear winners. But I didn't doubt that for a second once everyone had kind of adjusted the way that they needed to adjust. Hopefully the weather won't be as bad this weekend, but they're a very good side. They're a threat. And, you know, if we can't put out, you know, if we maybe cannot put out a particularly strong team, there is certainly a chance. But I just think there'll be some experience in there, and I think the home crowd is probably going to be enough. But I certainly think there's a chance it could be a close match.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. I mean, they're going to come really, really up for it because it's a big statement for them. I mean, they're not, you know, they're third in the championship. It's not like they're miles ahead in that league or anything like that, but they're going to come with a big intention to make a point. But you know, and you think you're going through the side, it's going to be very similar to what we played against Tigers, I imagine.
Yeah.
You've got to think maybe the likes of Timo might come back in. You're going to think if Augustus isn't going to play him, well, probably Brown will go to 8 and Benson will start at 6 because he looked great when he came on.
I like the look of that boy. He looks decent. When he played, was it Nottingham at home?
Yeah,
I think he came on. He looked well decent. That boy. He's a big chunk. He comes from farming stock, doesn't he? So
yeah. Big lad. But you know, you.
And I think if you keep as well your sort of 9-10 axis with Tom James and GMC, you're in fairly good hands. You're in, you know, pretty safe hands with the 2 of them.
Yeah, exactly. You'd think the side wouldn't change too much. Second row, you know, if Timo comes in, that might add a bit of bulk. Then you're losing the ball carrying Augustus if he's not playing. You know, and then you end up looking at the bench and you're like, wow, we are really down. We will not have the impact of the bench, you'd imagine.
Should we take our boots, Charles, just in case?
Yeah, well, I was starting to limber up in the crowd when we started the falling off. I mean, God knows who's coming on below the next bench lot, because then we're literally down to under 18s. There was a couple of lads training in the warm up, and I back myself to know most of the players involved in Northampton Saints, and I did not recognise them. They looked about 12. Like, there was some.
Yeah.
Oh, they looked young. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but they were young, real youngsters. One of them was sort of involved in, the drills, but when they started hitting bags and a bit of contact, he stepped out of it. He obviously wasn't up to that sort of thing, but he looked really young. I
was going to say, you've got to think as well that who they're bringing. Hinkley will want to prove a point if he's fit. I don't know, because I don't follow them. And obviously, Kovacic, in my opinion, could still play in the Prem.
I don't think Keswick played at the weekend. I might be wrong, but I don't know the ongoing fitness of Coventry. I'll be honest with you, but I mean, he is a class player. He'd be great at Saints, I think.
Oh, it's for me. He's so good at the breakdown and rooks and mauls, isn't he? He just steals the ball. He's playing at that level. I know he's older, but I know he was at Worcester, wasn't he? So he lost his job, but it's a shame. But somebody should have picked him up. He's absolutely.
I mean, it was Gloucester for a long time, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. He went to Worcester.
Yeah, Gloucester to Chiefs, and then he had his real spell of great player at Chiefs.
Yeah.
And he played 8 for them and just scored relentlessly off the back of mauls. And then, was just a great player around the park. And then, Worcester, back to Worcester. I think he was Worcester, Gloucester, Chiefs. So I think he moved way down the country and went back to Worcester. But I think it just shows you the amount of money that was available for all the clubs when that happened, because I don't think anyone signed any of the older players from those clubs that went.
It's just like you said, there were 3 teams that have gone by, so a lot of people available. You're stretching budget restraints for. I mean, I know certain things I think fell outside of it for a bit because 3 teams went under, but otherwise, you still don't really have the income just to. I mean, the people that we signed through that, we got ridiculously lucky with who we picked up at Northampton. But like I said, we went for the young guys because that's what you're kind of going to do. So it's kind of a shame for someone like Kovacic, but if you think, like you said, you put his age as a factor into it and the wage that he might want to come back up, I suppose it just wasn't tenable at that point anymore.
Yeah, and it probably became to a point where maybe Coventry were offering him more than he could have got at the Prem. And
very possibly.
You'd have thought that maybe, you don't know, you just don't know. Maybe they were offers in France, but he wanted to live where he wanted to live. Who knows? But he's a top player at that level for sure. And they've got a few, players who are on the brink of Prem. I'd say Prem squad players.
A few ex-Saints as well, aren't there? A few ex-Saints there, so.
Yeah. Tommy Matthews generally plays a 10 for them. He looked an okay player before dropping down to Championship, but we're pretty strong at 10, so it's just there. Yeah. So interesting. I mean, in terms of side, are we saying do you reckon any different to what we sort of went, other than maybe there have been injuries?
Is there anybody that they've rested and let just go on holiday? And they might need a game just to get back into.
It's only Timo, I think. Timo.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think someone like Timo might.
There isn't anybody. You need to wrap Ram up, but that didn't happen because we can't. We haven't got anybody else. So it's literally.
It may be a case that some of them play like this weekend though in a home game against like the most difficult side to beat and the team that you need to beat, and then you may see like your Rams and people are wrapped up for the away Nottingham one.
That's exactly
very possibly.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I think Ram would be. I mean, it might be a case of he does need a rest, and that's why. But I think Ram would be disappointed if he didn't play this weekend, because I'm a massive fan of Ram, but he made some defensive missed tackles. He made a few errors, on the when he should have just smashed someone into touch. They should have been picking their teeth out of the crowd, but instead he sort of fell off the tackle.
I think there's I think a few of those senior ones will still play this weekend, I think, because it's at home, like toughest team in the pool, and I'm not just saying that like statistically, we're on the same point system, so they are the most difficult team to beat, going to be the hardest challenge, as it were. So you'd probably still have them playing this weekend, and then they get the Nottingham week as a chance to kind of wrap them up and just make sure, because there's a chance that no matter what team we send to Nottingham, we could probably get a win. So you're just risking something for nothing, very possibly. So it may just be that you have your Rams and a few others, perhaps. We won't be able to do it for all of them. Like I still think someone like Tom James is going to have to play because we just don't have anyone else. Like normally it would be you don't play James and you play McParlin, and that's not possible. So you end up with someone that's really not experienced. So someone like James may potentially just simply have to.
He needs games.
Play the next two, exactly, and he's only recently exactly, and probably the same for GMC. That's probably someone that you can play in both of them most likely.
You can imagine he's going to be a lot of this competition. And
like I said, Seabrook's still in this position of needing games, so maybe him. But then the problem is that we're really struggling for wingers. So do they still rest him for the Nottingham game and just give some speedsters a go? Just because, but there's lots of different permutations. But I think that team for this weekend's going to be practically the same. Just obviously the injuries. I think Hunter Hill out is probably going to mean that Timo has to be involved in some way, whether it's bench or starting. I'd be surprised if he's not involved in some capacity.
Yeah, and I suppose one of the considerations as well, and we're not going to know the answer is who's coming back availability. Maybe Hendy's ready for a game. Maybe Berger's ready for a game. There might be a few people who we've not seen in a few
exactly.
Turn up. Big Trev, for example, he's probably been wrapped up in.
Trev, that's the one. It was Trev. They were the two we said should go on holiday. I was trying to think who it was. Yeah, Big Trev.
Yeah, so you never know. They might bring him back for the game.
He's got
too many permutations for us to be like, this is the 15, because there's just too many things going on. But
it's not a case of picking the best 15. It's a case of picking
the available 15.
Available 15. That's also the right.
Who is okay? Yeah.
Get Dowse and Vesti back out there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dowse could still do a job.
I would.
Definitely.
Vesti, maybe not. Maybe he still looked pretty. Yeah, trim.
I think you could boss the team from 10, like not take much contact. So in terms of picks, well, once again, we all got it wrong. No points. Jess, just remind me, because obviously Hendy, you selected Hendy, but he wasn't picked. Who did you pick? And we'll take you on good faith here because I can't remember.
No, so I typed it in the WhatsApp. So I want to say.
Right, yeah. You're just searching who scored the tries, aren't you? Yeah.
No, I'm going back in our WhatsApp chat.
You went for Ram.
Ram, I thought it was Ram.
Yeah.
Right, so
Ram. And I feel like I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I was unsuccessful.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure we were all unsuccessful. So it was zeros across the board this round.
Right. Because you said Seabrook, right?
I went Seebs again, yeah.
Yeah.
And you went Asai.
I said Tara Kafar, didn't I?
Yeah.
So no score.
Yeah. Still 1-0.
So but I say for this one, like when we do the ones for Cov, like Charles, you pick first because you picked last time.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of score, I'm going to go 36-12. And in terms of player, I'm going to say Seabrook again, I think. Or should we say that you can't say someone more than...
No, I think you can say, because at the moment there's such a limited pool of people that are playing. I think you can probably just pick this.
Right, I'll stick with the man. He's got to get another one at home, I think. So sorry, then it means it's you again.
Is it? Do you want me to go, or is it Jess?
Well, I
no,
mean,
you go.
You were in the middle. You went middle last time, so...
Okay. I'll go 45-20.
35-20.
45.
45, sorry.
And Rambo.
Rambo.
If he plays.
I'm going to go... I'm definitely going Tom James as the try scorer. Pretty sure he got a hat-trick, right? So I'm just going to assume that he's just going to keep... Yeah, I'm just going to pray that he keeps that form going. Please, if you're listening, please. And then I'm going to go... 37-22.
37-22.
So we're all going vaguely. Well, we're all going big, and all sort of roughly in the kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If I'll tell you what the margins are if you want. I mean, it's probably not riveting, but let's tell you. So I've got a margin of 24. Sai's got a margin of 25, and Jess has got a margin of 15.
Yeah.
So that's where we are with that. So we'll see if that even comes into play, because we've had 2 weeks. It's not been a thing. Hopefully we win, which makes it a thing. But yeah.
Are you listening, BT? If you need new pundits, we're brilliant at predicting results.
We're really good.
Basically, we'll pick Saints every week because that's what the podcast we are.
The weather, just to give you a heads up, is supposed to be dry but -2.
Oh,
Wrap up warm if you go in, ladies and gentlemen.
It's definitely going to be high scoring then, because they're going to all want to get the chill off of them at -2. So there's going to be some running, guys.
If you hear that, everyone, make sure you wrap up warm this weekend for I think it's the Family Day event at West Saints versus Coventry. So it should be a great day. But thanks very much for listening. I've been Charles. Jess has been Jess. Simon's been Simon. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.